Hi and welcome to another episode of Chennai AI Community Podcast. Let's explore the world of artificial intelligence through interesting conversations. So today we have our guest Akash. Hi Akash, how are
Hi
you doing?
Yousef, I'm doing good. How about you?
Thank you, I'm good. So Akash is a Agentic AI developer and today he has taken time to come here and speak about the subject. So Akash, so how did you get into the field of AI? What is your journey? How did you, if you can share?
So I did my bachelor's in AI and data science. So while doing that, I started exploring what are the career opportunities and what are more fields that in this. That's when I explored to agentic AI. So I started building Gen AI applications right back before 3 years. So I
So that was
started,
which year of college?
which was in my second year.
Oh, in second year you started
Yeah.
building. Okay.
So I built basic RAG projects, some
Yeah.
computer vision applications, those things. So once I did
What
that,
motivated you to build? Like how you got into this? Was it something a
like
problem?
when I was surfing through the internet, it seemed curious and just I wanted to try it out. So that's when I watched tutorials and I just wanted to replicate it and I just want to try how it comes.
So this is basically not part of your syllabus at that time.
No,
Okay.
nothing at all. So I pursued it as my own personal interest.
Okay.
So when I explored it, it was way more interesting than I thought, and I started exploring much more details into it. And after that, I got an internship where I was able to build AI agents and in a production grade environment. So yeah, it really helped me learn a lot of things actually. So building a project as a side project and actually building it in a production grade are huge different things, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
you
true.
know you learn a lot when doing those things. Yeah.
Okay, Akash, I would like to talk about. I know that you are specialist in building AI chatbots and agents. So let's start with chatbots. So what is a AI chatbot? Like most of us know the regular chatbots, and what is the difference between a regular chatbot and a AI chatbot?
So traditionally, if you see, normal chatbots are static in nature. So there will be a predefined roles and a predefined data, which will be just filtered out to give you the response. Let's take an example.
Sure.
Let's say I want to go and pursue a master's degree.
Okay.
So
Like foreign
yeah.
education. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm picking a study abroad chatbot there.
Okay.
So once I go to the chatbot, it first asks me, what degree are you going to pursue in a drop down?
Correct.
What country are you going to choose in a drop down? And then the type of course, engineering or management
Correct.
or science and arts. So once you have selected the options from the drop down, they just filter the data from their database such as a SQL or something, and they just send you the data as it is. So traditional chatbots are just filter based and rule based.
So like I remember, I remember some of the chatbots. It's also like buttons. It will just be like select the country, US or Canada. Then the next option will be what is the course.
Yes, exactly.
And what is the budget.
Yeah.
Okay. And finally, it is going to list you everything, whatever the criteria you are given. Okay. Now this is the regular chatbot. So if you can tell the audience what is the AI chatbot then.
So AI chatbot leverages large language models such as GPT or any other AI models. It's able to understand the user's query. So you don't need to select options. Even if you don't know what to choose, you can just ask the LLM and ask the chatbot, and it will guide you to pick your desired option.
So let's say somebody, let's say I'm a student in 12th. Okay, I can interact with a chatbot. Say I want to pursue my masters. So that traditional chatbot will not respond. It will just probably you can't even send this question first of all. You have to select. So this will probably say you, hey, that's amazing. What would you like to study? What is your interest area? So like a conversational, it's going to be.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Also, using AI chatbots, you can even compare two different things, which you can do in a traditional chatbot. So even if you're not sure about a particular university or particular course, and if you want to know more details which aren't available in the database with a traditional chatbot, the AI chatbot can answer. For example, if you want to pursue masters in AI and data science.
Okay.
But you don't know what really is AI. You can just ask a chatbot, okay, tell me more about artificial intelligence.
Explain the course. What is it? Okay.
So that
it's literally like a human then.
Yeah.
Like it's a human that is people you can have a human-like conversations.
Yeah, it's like a friendly buddy who can answer your queries whenever and however.
Okay. So let's say now the traditional chatbot, it is basically if let's say I have scored terrible, I have scored 45%, just barely passed, and I choose Oxford University or Stanford University, right? That regular chatbot is going to give me that option because I chose it. Now for AI chatbot, probably if it is interacting with me and asking what is my marks, if I tell this is my score in 12th or probably the GMAT score or TOEFL or IELTS, then it won't give me all the options. It will probably give me what is suitable for my profiling, right?
Yes, exactly. An AI chatbot understands about you, and it chooses the right information according to that context. So even if you give a certain budget and depending upon the marks, the AI chatbot goes through its information and since our marks is this, it suggests only that relevant courses and
what is realistic.
Yeah.
So let's explain audience what is the process behind it, right? How it is able to make those decisions, how it knows for which university, how your profile is fitting. This is more suitable for you. How it happens behind the scenes.
Yeah, everything starts with the data. So we need to first find data about the universities, the courses, and we can store it either in a normal database or we can convert it into a vector database. So most of the chatbots, AI chatbots that are currently there uses vector database.
Okay.
So vector database are just basically a numerical representation of a text. Let's say we have a cat and dog. So I just convert it into a random numbers. So those are the vector database because computers can understand numbers more than text, right?
Correct.
So that's the basic intuition, right?
Also, just for audience, it's basically, let's say there are 100 candidates who applied for a university. If we have the data, the ML model is trained on this is the criteria this university basically will accept. The last 100 200 candidates for that particular course. So this is what the behind the scenes ML algorithm is there, and the chatbot uses that, right?
Yeah. Okay. So when we train an ML model using this data, it becomes a predictive modeling. So when we give the information such as marks and such things, it predicts whether I can go into this university or not.
Correct.
So finally, the AI chatbot leverages that predictive algorithm to finally tell us which is our best option to pick.
Makes sense. So chatbot is not just a front end thing. There is much behind the scene work, collecting data, building the ML model. All this together brings the product.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
Okay. I think audience got a context of what a AI chatbot is. So okay, now let's dive into the agent. So what are the different types of agent, if you can just first start with that?
So before going to the types of agents, let's explore what are agents.
Yeah, sorry. Let's do that.
So chatbots are just informative.
Correct.
Whereas agents are reactive. So chatbots gives us information, whereas agents perform tasks on our behalf. So that's the main difference. So when we come to the types of agent, there are single agent and multi-agent. Single agent like freelancers, so they just do their job on their own. Multi-agents are like a company with an hierarchy. So there will be a co-founder who delegates tasks to their subordinates, right? That's multi-agent.
Okay. So let's give an example of a single agent. What would, if you can tell some real example that can relate with the audience?
Okay. Let's take I am a vendor. I am a construction company vendor. So I need to reach out to my sub vendors and get the status of the working things, such as let's say I have to reach out to the interior design company, I have to reach out to the electrical company, and I have to reach out to the furnishing vendors and get the status of the things.
So generally, like even generally, it's like a construction vendor will have a timeline. Let's say that in 45 days, 60 days, we'll do this work and give you. Then he will have sub vendors.
Yeah.
Somebody to do interiors, somebody to do modular kitchen, somebody to do electrical. So now you're saying that this agent will basically ask status update Is it that the purpose?
Yeah, exactly. So let's say I have to ask a status in a defined timeline.
Okay.
So what this agent can do is it can send out a mail, personalized mail to each of the sub vendors asking the status of the things. So once the sub vendors reply to this mail, this agent can read and understand the context of the mail, and it can update the status of the things. So because of this, I don't have to manually call each vendor, and I have to wait for their response, and I have to understand it. So the whole process is automated. Since we have a defined time period, such as once in 5 days or once in a week, the agent automatically sends another follow-up mail the next week asking the progress.
So probably, let's say, interior modular kitchen.
Yeah.
Somebody, this agent will send out mail. What is the work? Has it work been started? Whatever the initial mail was.
Yeah.
He responded that the cabinets are put.
Yeah.
Or the countertop is put. So next, it is going to follow from there. The countertop is put. Now, what is the further step? Maybe cabinet is put. Now, what is the next step?
Yeah.
So it is going. It's conversational. It's not a new email. It is
No.
understanding the conversation, and maybe this can have a dashboard.
Yeah.
Or where this construction vendor will be able to see, okay, 30% it's completed, 40% it's completed, so that he can update to the clients.
Yeah, exactly. Also, we can have the descriptive feedback from the vendors, such kind of things. Yeah.
Okay. So what is the steps now? Thanks for explaining this. What will be the steps for a agent? Like, if you defining goal, or like what is the standard process?
Yeah. So first, when we start with the agent, we define a goal.
Okay.
So goal is the end result that we want to get from the agent. May it even be a status, or may it even be a file altogether. So once the goal has been defined, we go and attach tools to the agent. So for example, for sending an email, we will attach a email sender tool. For if we want to collect data from the internet, we will use web browser tool. Such tools. So once the tools has been defined, we give descriptions for those tools.
Okay.
So those descriptions of the tools will be used for planning.
Okay. So if you can give another simple example where people can understand how an agent classifies what tools what to use for.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So let's say I'm doing a repair in my house, and I'm hiring a carpenter.
Okay.
So the carpenter comes, and then he first drills into the wall. So once he drills into the wall, he takes a fissure and then puts in the wall.
Yeah.
Once that's been done, he takes a nail and uses hammer to put it in the wall.
Okay.
So the carpenter knows this process. But if we were to do this with an AI agent, we just put out the tools. So we just give the agent the information such as the drill is used for drilling. So then
the fissure has to be placed. Okay.
So the other description of these things.
Yeah.
So we don't need to define the process of how to do these things.
Okay.
We just need to give the description of the tools and what it does.
So that's where the agentic power is.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we are not telling step 1 go drill it. So now it understands that, okay, for drilling wall, maybe first it will take its decision. If it uses hammer, it's going to break the wall.
Yeah, so that's where the planning phase comes. So the agent knows what are the tools available. So based on that, it first plans on how to do those tasks to reach the end goal.
So basically, keep the tools and define the tools.
Yeah.
Agent is capable of understanding and leveraging. Okay, so what is the next step?
So yeah, once we have defined the tools, the agent will go on and understand what are these tools are for. Okay. Once it's done, it starts to plan on how to reach the end goal.
Okay.
So that's where the planning phase comes. So after planning, it picks a particular tool and then it executes using that tool, and then it observes. So once the observation has been done, and if it's satisfied with the current stage, it rethinks and proceeds with the next tool until it reaches the end goal. So it's like an iterative process.
So how much is human in loop in this thinking and also reinforcement, trying to understand how much of human intervention is there? There's no human intervention.
No, we can totally have this as an automation process.
Okay. It can capable of doing it.
Yeah.
So that's how it gets better, and it's like reinforcement learning. It's similar concept there.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, thanks for explaining this single agent. What about a team of agents, multi-agents?
Yeah, so as I said, multi-agent is like a hierarchy of an organization. So if you take a company for an example, there will be a CEO or co-founder
Yeah.
who delegates tasks to its subordinates, right?
Yeah.
So that's how a multi-agent also works. So there will be a master agent, and the master agent will delegates the task accordingly to its subordinate agents. Let's take an example.
Sure. Yeah.
So I am a digital marketer,
Okay.
and I want to reach out to web development agencies.
Okay.
Okay, so for this, if I want to create a multi agent, I will first have a lead generation agent.
Okay.
So what a lead generation agent will do is, for example, let's say since I want to reach out to web development agencies, the lead generation agent scrapes the information about web development agencies from a particular location, such as I want from Chennai.
Okay.
So it takes a list of all the web development agencies from Chennai. It then filters out the necessary information, such as the company name, the email ID, and what the company does, such things.
Okay.
Once it's done, it since the scraped data will be an unstructured one, it filters and using natural language processing, and it gives us a structured data such as an Excel file or something.
Okay. So first agent work is simply go find out whom I want to collaborate with. It's like generally cold emails we send.
Yeah.
So it's collecting data for the cold emailing.
Yeah.
Okay. First agent work is done. It gave you the Excel sheet. Okay.
Yeah. So we got the information of the potential clients, and then we have an agent for proposals.
Okay.
So since we have the vendors list, we can send out a personalized proposals to each of the vendor, citing this is the work that we do, and if you want, we can reach out to us and citing more other information about our product.
So this is an outbound agent.
Yeah.
Basically marketing our sales, like a sales agent. Basically send out details. This is what we do, and this is our pricing, etc. Brochure. Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
exactly. So instead of a single salesperson calling each vendor and explaining about what we do, and if they asking if they are interested, an agent does this on their own.
Okay, and it is a customized email also.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the Excel sheet will basically have the name of the stakeholder or the company name. Like for example, hello so and so agency is going to send personalized emails.
Yeah. Also, not only that, the collected leads will also have information about what that company do.
Is.
So
exactly, that's the point.
The personalized mail will also have information about how our product will benefit their company.
Okay, so just for the audience context, so let's say we are reaching to 10 web development agencies. This agent, lead scraping agent, will also understand what their business and write their summary.
Yeah.
Maybe some web agencies are core in developing in WordPress. Some might be using some other technology. So it might personalize and say, hey, you are working on WordPress, or you have a strong client base in Middle East, our product like this, and customize email based on their business.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That's a very powerful thing.
Yeah. So once the proposals have been given out, once the vendors replies back, we will have another agent for analyzing.
So let's say those potential clients they saw the email.
Yeah.
They will most likely see the email because it's tailor made for them. The subject line and everything is there, and they want to take it further. So they might ask, okay, now tell me what is your rate, or they might have some more questions. So can you do meta ads? Can you do Instagram marketing? Let's say they are sending some email queries back.
Yeah.
So now tell me, what is the next agent, like what it will do?
Yeah, let's call it a follow-up agent.
Follow-up agent, okay.
Yeah, since we got back the mails from the vendors, we first can do sentiment analysis with the agent. So we can first find if it's a positive or a negative thing.
Okay.
So if they want more information, since these agents will have what we do, it will answer accordingly. Let's say they ask for our budget, our more capabilities, such things. Also, like if these informations are not enough for the vendors, if they finally want to get on a call and appointment, they can ask it in an email, which the agent will send back to us, and then we can schedule a call with them.
Okay, so let's say this email that somebody is asking, do you run meta ads, and likewise. So like initial example we spoke about the machine learning where we feed in data. Likewise, this agent behind the scenes will have the repository of the data of this particular organization.
Yeah.
What are the business we do, what pricing we do, and maybe initially it can do the bargaining also. We might quote a higher price, and if the based on sentiment analysis, we'll see we can quote a lower price or whatever. Okay, so based on the available information, it responds back.
Yeah.
Let's say they like it. Okay, now they want to book an appointment. So now they're coming back with another reply that okay, I'm interested. So will that be a next agent which will book appointment?
Yeah, since we got a positive lead, hot
Okay.
leads, so that agent can give us the humans the information, and we can take it further. So instead of us having to do so much work from the start, having to collect information, call, and then have to reply back, and then we need to finally book an appointment only if they are interested.
Correct.
So it's a lot of human work. Sometimes it goes waste.
Definitely, most of the work goes waste.
Yeah. So, like out of 10 vendors, only two of them might be interested. So for that, majority of the human work goes into vain.
So what I'm thinking is, let's say a small business owner, right? They are leveraging this agentic AI and deployed this system. So this person will get an email in a calendar saying that today we have a meeting with Akash. Akash has interacted with us. This is the interaction points.
Yeah.
Our first email went to Akash on this date. Akash got back with this response. It's a summary.
Yeah.
So just before meeting, 10 minutes before meeting, 15 minutes before meeting, let's say I'm getting this email and I know what is the context, the complete context, the entire interaction you have had, and I'm well prepared.
Yeah, exactly. So
I go for the meeting.
Without even us interacting with the vendor previously, we can able to understand what the vendor actually needs and what's his idea coming into this meeting.
Okay, so now I go in the meeting, we deliver the services. Now there is another scope of AI agents, right?
Yeah, so we can have for feedback.
Okay.
So once everything is done, the agent can ask for feedback, and it can do further sentimental analysis, and it can really give us insight on how we can improve it further.
Okay,
so based on the user's feedback.
Let's say in this month we have catered to 100 clients.
Yeah.
So this bot which goes agent which will go and collect sentiment, it can provide me a dashboard. In this, the satisfaction score of 80% of customers was like whatever percentage, 80%, 90%, and what is the feedback they have given. What is that we have to improve? It can even summarize and give.
Yeah, exactly. It can give us the insight that we can take it with the customer relationship manager.
This is very powerful. This is very, very powerful.
Yeah, it has crazy a lot of scopes in this.
Okay. All right. So now if you can just explain now, thanks for explaining this. So if you can pick one of the agent and tell me how the entire process work out of this multi-agents.
Okay. So out of this, the first agent I said was a lead generation agent, right?
Yeah.
So let's go with that. First, as I said, on how to build an agent. So let's align this with that.
Sure.
So first is, I said we need to define a goal for the agent. So for our lead generation agent, our end goal is an Excel file, a tabular data of all the potential clients and vendors for my digital marketing company.
Okay.
That's the goal.
Correct.
So the next thing I defined was tools. So an agent needs necessary tools to perform the task. So for a lead generation agent, the main tool it needs is a scraper.
Okay.
So as I said, so if I want web development agencies from Chennai, it needs to go to the browser and it needs to scrape all the data first. Okay. So for that it needs a scraper tool. And then it needs an entity recognition tool.
Okay.
So for identifying
what is that?
Entity recognition, so such as the name, email ID.
Correct.
So those personal details.
Sure.
So once the scraper tool has scraped the data, this entity recognition tool will extract this personal information data.
So let's say a website for the audience. A website has 5 pages.
Yeah.
All the 5 pages content is taken, put into a notepad just for reference. A notepad is there. This first part of this agentic thing, scraper will do this. The second entity is going to do is, it is specifically look for keywords like phone number. Among that, just like control F you do and search. This is going to search and pick those and do. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. So the entity recognition tool picks the email ID, name of the company, and it also generates a summary of what that company does. So once this information has been collected, we can finally translate it into a structured Excel form and we can export it.
Okay. So this is a single agent process. Okay, that's interesting. So Akash, I mean, if somebody, a student who is watching this and he wants to position himself to be a Agentic AI developer, what are the steps he or she can take at this point?
So basically, anyone can start at building some small projects. It not necessarily need to be a big, huge project and all. First, identify a small problem around yourself and try to solve it with AI or agents.
Okay.
So when you build that for even for a very small use case, you will definitely encounter a lot of problems.
Correct. Yeah.
You will gain a lot of knowledge while fixing that and building that.
So let's say somebody who's not able to understand a particular subject in their semester, there is an online PDF version of their book.
Yeah.
They can put it into the chatbot, and they can build a chatbot to interact and ask questions out of it, right?
Yeah, they can even make it personalized. For example, let's say like each student will have their own interests, right? For example, I love sports. If someone teaches me a complex concept with an analogy of sports, I will able to understand it much more easier.
Okay.
So what students can do is they can build a personalized chatbot for them, which helps them understand concepts or topics with their own interest, aligned with their own interest.
Actually, I think that is a game changer because everyone has some interest, and if that interest is being combined along with the terms, and it's easily digestible for them. Okay, so let's say their first step is to build something for themselves, and the next, I think what I would feel is maybe they observe and build for others. What would you suggest?
Yeah, so like you can interact with your relatives or friends, like you can chat normally, and when you think okay something is a problem, okay you can try to solve it with AI.
So let's say somebody, a person is talking with their uncles in a family setting, and this particular uncle is saying that I have to send so many emails, I have to reply. So they have first built something. They have some confidence on their like the technology. They have some grip. Now they can say, okay, uncle, let me build something for you.
Yeah,
they can do something like that, right? So that will help them actually get into that zone of entrepreneurship, understanding the requirements of others, and it is a little more serious, right? Like if you're building for somebody, you tend to be a little more time bound.
Yes, exactly. So developing entrepreneurship is young minds is what we need right now. So solving such problems gives us a huge knowledge and plus point in that.
But you see, one more point, increasingly even I'm seeing in corporate now is people are looking for similar mindset in the corporate roles because they don't want somebody like a leader, team leader, or somebody to define them steps. They just want to give a goal.
Yeah.
Go do this, and they should be able to do it by themselves.
Yeah, full freedom. Yeah.
Full freedom and with minimum supervision. So once they start this journey of building something for themselves and their relatives, they are very well positioned to be successful in the corporate life as well, right?
Yes, exactly.
If you can tell, is there any cool projects that you are currently working and you want to share about it?
I myself actually building an Agentic AI platform with my friend.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a platform which helps users to create agents without any code. Okay. So that's interesting, right? Yeah. So for building an agent, as we discussed, we have to follow a lot of procedures and we need more technical logic. Let's say even a normal CEO or normal manager or even everyone from the organization can build agents without an AI engineer. That would be crazy, right?
Yeah.
So we are building that kind of platform right now, and I hope
that's amazing. That's like giving the power of building agents to pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. There are tools like make.com or N8N, but still it requires certain amount of technical expertise to handle. So you're building something which will make it more simpler.
Yes, exactly. So the product that we are building is called Zenovia.
Okay.
So yeah, let's hope it goes big.
Awesome. We wish you all the best for the
thank you.
Product journey. Okay, so Akash, I mean, it seems like a lot of stuff going on with Agentic AI. So how do you keep yourself updated?
So I read a lot of tech blogs and I keep myself updated with following everything that's happening on LinkedIn and all. So right now, even every day, a new framework, a new AI model is getting released. So to be sustained in this field, we need to keep ourselves updated. So read tech blogs, see what's the latest thing that has been released, follow pages on LinkedIn. Yeah.
So it's like you read in Medium or what are the blogs?
Yeah, I follow Medium and also I have a subscription for the TLDR blog, which it's like a newspaper which sends me daily email on what happened in this week or today.
Okay. Is there any other tips and tricks? for keeping yourself updated?
Start building. You have to start. It doesn't matter if you can't do it or fail or not.
So it's not just learning. I think when you see something interesting, the point is to start using it.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't need to know everything and then start. You can start from zero and then you can start to build things. That's how huge things gets developed.
Makes sense. And that's a very interesting point because many people, if they are thinking that just statically seeing something in LinkedIn, being aware is not enough.
Yeah.
You have to use it, implement it. Okay, cool. That helps. So Akash, I think it is a fantastic session and you helped the audience explore the world of AI agents and chatbot. Thank you so much for taking time and coming here today.
Thank you, Yousef. It's been a great pleasure and honor for me to have this conversation with you. Looking forward to more great
Absolutely, we are
things.
going to bring you sometime and talk on more core concepts. So thank you for everyone to staying with us and explore the world of AI. Let's do it responsibly and ethically. And with that note, again, thanks Akash. Thank you everyone. Have a great day. Bye bye.